Hi everyone, welcome to Toma's Crafts. Today is part 2 of 4 intros to the tools I use for all my sewing projects. Starting off is a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square ruler. As you can see on this side and down here, it's the 1/2 inch line. Here is the 2-inch line. Then here, they're very, very small little black marks, and those are the 16th inch lines. And next to this 1/16 inch line is the 1/8 line. Then we go to the 3/16, a 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 6/16, and then our inch line. And of course, our 45-degree angle. This is from OmniGrid. This came, I believe, in a 3-pack, and I've gotten it at Joann. I can't tell you how much I paid for it because it's been a while. But this also has a little hole which you can store on a hook or on a key ring, travel size. Great for small projects. You can use it as making little patches for purses, shirts, jackets, pants, what have you. Next, I have a 3.5 inch square ruler, same as the small one. Here's our 1/2 inch and our 1/2 inch. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, of course, our 45-degree angle. This also has a hole. I wouldn't store this with the smaller one because it would be awkward, and I don't think there's a D-ring or anything big enough to put this on except for a hook. This does not have the 16-inch marks, but does have the 1/8, 1/4 inch, and 3/8 markings. And then it has the little guides, as you can see, the little black dots. And of course, same for the 45-degree angle. This right here, if you angle it, this will be your 60-degree markings, I believe. But like I said, I only use the 45 on this one and the small one as well. This is the 5-inch ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course 5 inches. This you can hang on a hook or store it that way, or put in a drawer, of course, and it's bigger, as you can see. This has the 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angles. You want to do weird angles like I do. I love making weird angles with these. And also triangles, things like that. And we have our little markings, which is the 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and then of course our inch line right here. And it's from Arteza. I believe I bought this separately, and I believe I also bought this at Joann. Is the 6-inch square ruler. Just like the 5-inch ruler and the 3.5-inch ruler, it only has the 1/8, the 1/8, the quarter or 1/4, 3/8, our half, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and our inch line. This has the 60-degree and the 45-degree angles. And what I like to do with these is to make different size or cut the fabric different angle wise, not making triangles, just different size angles, and sewing them together to make a, I guess you call a Frankenstein fabric. You know, like Frankenstein, he's, you know, sewn with different parts, people body, Frankenstein. So yeah, this one and the other two, which I have here, I believe they came together. I want to say they did come together in one package. And those are my square ruler. Next, I have my long rulers. This one, as you can see, is a 24-inch ruler. Great for using for longer fabrics, bigger projects than the smaller square rulers. And this one is a 18-inch ruler. They both have the little holes at the top for great hanging on the wall. You have it there. You don't have to look for it because, of course, it's on the wall. Let's start with the small 18-inch ruler. And these also have the markings for the 1/8, the 1/4, 3/8, half inch, 5/8, 3/4, and 7/8 1-inch markings. And I kind of like this one pretty much because you have, I don't know if you can see it, little red markings. And then you have the blue markings, and of course your inch markings are black. So the little red markings, then of course, like I said, your blue markings, so you don't get confused when you're cutting your fabric or making squaring off things, making sure you're cutting the right size. And at the bottom, it has our 45-degree and 60-degree angles as well for making those different size cutout fabrics or just making sure they're squared off right. Really good. Then we have the 24-inch ruler. Same thing as all the others. They have the little red markings, the blue markings, and of course the black marking. Every half inch has a black marking. Then of course we have every maybe 1/4 inch, 16th inch. It's a different marking. Red, blue, black, red, blue, black. And both of these are from Taylor. And I got these also at Joann. And of course at the bottom is the 60-degree angle and 45-degree angle. This one's a 24 by 6 inch. And the small one It's a 24 by 4-inch ruler. And of course you can see the difference. And they're both 2 inches smaller and bigger. So is our seam allowance guide. This is a 12-inch and this is an 8-inch, and both are from Fons and Porter. Omni grids, or yeah, Omni grids. I have to be honest. When we're little, we don't want to watch anybody sewing. We want to watch cartoons, and that's how I was. So I got older. The more older I got, the more I wanted to learn how to sew, and I started off watching Fons and Porter, and that got me into sewing. So this is how we use. Let's use the 8-inch grid and put these guys together. Okay, we put these guys together, and these are quarter seam allowance. This line from here to here, that's a 1/4 inch, and from here to here is a 1/4 inch. And this is how we use it. We take this, make sure we butt it up close. Well, they're not perfectly matched, but close to the edge. We take this and we mark one side. Just make sure they're all okay. Now, mark one side. Then we'll mark the other side. And these are my marking chalks, I guess you call them. I have a blue one for lighter colors and a white one for darker colors. So then we take it to sewing machine, sew down the blue line, both blue lines, and then of course you cut down the middle. And you get 2 different squares from different fabrics, from different fabrics. And there, here you have it, our squares. To square off any squares you have made, depending on the size you want, let's take our 3.5-inch square, put our 45-degree angle, and let's say, to make sure that's 45 degrees, that's fine. Well, actually, let's make sure. Alright, let's say you want this 2.5 inches. And we'll find this squared off. Bring it all the way as close to that as possible. We'll take our rotary cutting tool, cut this off, cut this off. Of course, we'll turn it around, keep it on there, cut that off, and cut that off, and that will be your perfect square, your perfect 2.5 squares. For this one, we'll take this side, actually. Square that off. So if we want maybe a 3-inch square. We would cut here, okay, cut here, and we would cut here. And that'll be our 3-inch squares. Love this guy. Love, 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 love these guys. These are actually like, besides my quilting sewing machine, it's my second favorite tool to use. I have actually one more ruler. This is actually like a seam guide. So for this, if you're making a hem or rolling up a sleeve and you want to make sure, let's say we're gonna roll this up, you want to make sure all of it is actually the right length. There's 1 inch. Sorry. So we'll measure this, put that there, put our guide right up, take that, and make sure it's all, and if it's not, we'll just bring it up a little bit more to meet. And if, let's say this part is really low, and you could tell it's not exact as this end, so you want everything perfectly right or close to perfect. And let's say you wanted it as 1 inch. Let's say we want 1 inch. So we're gonna move this up, and that would be kind of our 1 inch. So right now I could tell this is 1 inch. You can tell that's not 1 inch. So we need to move this little guy up a little bit more. There we go. So that's 1 inch. Then we roll it one more time. Just, you know, sometimes when you're hemming pants or putting cuffs on your shirts, your sleeves, you always want to make sure your measurements are exact. So this is about this is about 5/8. So let's say we want it at 5/8. So we keep right here. So it's about 5/8. So that's how we use it. So we have the inches on one side and the centimeters on the other side. And this is a 6-inch ruler guide or a 13th inch or 13 centimeters, I believe. No, actually it's less than 13 centimeters. It's about 12 and a half, a little over 12 and a half centimeter seam guide. This cutting mats. Just like the rulers, the square rulers, cutting mats have your inches and your different degrees. This one actually has 4 different degrees. It has our 30 degree or 30 degree, 45 degrees, 6 degrees, and of course a 90-degree angles. And this, I believe I got it off of Amazon, and it's It's made from Precision Quilting Tools, and it's a self-healing cutting mat, 12 by 18 inch cutting mat. And of course we have green. So both sides are self-healing mat, as you can see. I have a 24 or 23 actually by 17 inch cutting mat. As you can see, sorry, things are falling off. And this one has a 45-degree bias line, a 60-degree bias line on both sides, the 45 degrees, and of course the 60 degree. And this, if we want to make sure everything is squared up, we'll just take one side, and of course it's this square is not really squared up. And if we want to check the degree on this, it would be no. So with this, I like to see if everything is squared up. I'll use this plus a square ruler to find whether or not it's squared, and it's not. So what I tend to do is try to get this closest to the line, whichever end touches that line, I usually use that. I'm gonna cut that whole thing off. So for this, we could use so of course it's I've used this cutting mat a lot. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of little tiny lines, which I used it all the time for all my sewing projects, such as these guys. And these guys are not perfectly squared because I'm not done with them, but once I am, of course they will be. And can use the square rulers with it as well. These are all the measuring tools I have for all my sewing projects. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it on the comment below. I will read them and answer them. If you want me to go over the square rulers, regular rulers, or the cutting mats a little bit more, go ahead and let me know. If you have any of these materials, awesome. If not, no worries. And thanks for watching.